Yes, greetings, my viewers, once again. Of course, this is the Legacy Coach. Previously, we had our first video on purpose, and we promised that we shall come and try to uncover for you a few pages on how you can discover and, of course, align with your purpose so you can live a meaningful life. We are working on our book, Live on Purpose, the journey to a life that matters. Now, friends, I always tell my friends that I do not remember the day I was born because perhaps I was not there. Some say I was born at night, some say I was born in the evening, some say I was born in the banana plantation, some say I was in the hospital. I wasn't there. Some say when your mother gave birth to you, she lost her conscience and then she spent almost a whole day when she was lying down there. I mean, a lot happened the day I was born, but unfortunately, I was not there and I don't remember even who fed me first, who even washed my legs first. I was not there. But most of us here, we really do remember our days, and almost each and every single year, we found ourselves celebrating, jubilating our birthdays. But one thing for sure that I will not forget is the day I woke up. There are two most important days in life, in a man's life, and the first day is the day this person was born, very important. But the second and the most important day is the day you find out the main reason for your birth. Because scientists will tell us that during that day, perhaps when your mom had a meeting with your dad, over 40 million sperms were released towards the egg. And from the 40 million sperms, that person that was really successful in that race, it was you with me here this afternoon. But the question is, do you know why you were a winner? Because friends, I remember days back when I was doing what the systems have told us to always do. I had gone to school, I had a few certificates like most of us here. Of course, I had tried to do enough to survive and enough to survive. I had by then moved to a few countries trying to get ends meet. But deep inside me, there was something that would really always tell me that my life is empty. Because on that day, it was not an alarm clock that woke me up in the morning. It was not even these electric bells that we buy and have next to our beds and must keep us awake. That day, it was a call deep inside my heart, a question asked me if all my life was all I could be. And most of us here, that call has sometimes visited us, maybe maybe early in the morning at 2 a.m., whereby it's you in your bed and you're asleep, staring just at your ceiling and trying to ask yourself and find out if life has got more than what you are at the moment. Most of us, these calls have visited us when we're in our offices, down on our desks, trying to ponder about life, if you can have a more meaningful life than what it is at the moment. Most of us, these calls have come perhaps during our busy days. We're in our traffic, maybe sometimes we're queuing for fuel, somehow, somewhere there, and these questions hit us strong in our hearts. Why are you here? Why are you here? And you never know why you're here until you know who you are. If you don't know who you are, it's impossible to know why you're here. And you'll never live a fulfilled life until you find out why you're here. So today I'm going to help you uncover two questions. Who am I? As one of my late mentors says, Miles Monroe of Good Memories. They are questions of life. Because you can't live a better life than the questions you ask yourself. The questions you ask yourselves, they determine the path that your life gets on. Your life can't be better than the questions you ask yourself. Now, who am I is a question that takes us to why am I here? Most of us, when you ask them, who are you? They end up telling you what they do. Who are you? I'm a doctor. Who are you? I'm a lawyer. Who are you? I'm an engineer. Who are you? I'm a teacher, so on and so forth. Now, that means we have gotten lost in what we do with who we are. You're not what you do. You're way bigger than what you do. Most of us have confused our works and our jobs. You have not seen a difference between your work and your job. That's why most of you have these statements, my job is killing me, my job is killing me. That's everything that you do that is outside your work, it will always kill you. Because your job is not your work. That's another message for next time. But we're trying to uncover, who am I? Of course, the scriptures are so clear that on that day, the man himself said, let's create man in our own image. And in the image of him, he created them, male and female. That simply means, by that simple scripture, man is a species that consists of two people, male and female. And these people came from the highest kingdom called heaven, that nation up there. That simply means man and female on this planet Earth where they are right now, they have been placed here as ambassadors, doing the works of heaven. It simply means there's a very big reason as why you were not born 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 20 years ago, or 10 years to come. There's a very huge reason as why you were placed in this generation where you are at the moment right now. Because God saw that in this generation at this time there is something that required done, and you were the right person to fix it. The challenge is, most of us have lived all our lives without trying to figure out and find out the real reason that makes us relevant in this generation. And believe me, friends, until you discover your purpose, your life is always going to be empty. Always. Now the question is, if I have known that I'm from that kingdom and I'm an ambassador here, what am I supposed to do here? Because just like any other country, if you go to a country like Uganda, we have ambassadors of the US in Uganda called embassies. We have an embassy of Rwanda, an embassy of Kenya, an embassy of South Sudan. Now these ambassadors and those embassies, they represent the country's interests in that country. By any means, if a Ugandan commits a crime and he sneaks into the US embassy, the Ugandan authorities have no power to go there straight and pick this guy out without consulting permission first from the US government. That's how powerful and great you are on this planet Earth, that you're representing the highest kingdoms of the kingdom of heaven. So no one has the authority and power to just pull you here and there and get you busy with their works, with their jobs. That's not your assignment. Now, how do I get to know my real calling? How do I get to know why I'm here? Because friends, a journey to a purpose always starts with distractions, or with disturbances, or with dissatisfactions. The question is, do you feel a gap within your life that is a bit empty? Because most of us have been deceived to believe a life and live a life of a lie. It's like, for example, getting a bird, an eagle, and buy it a new Range Rover Sport, and get that bird put inside there, and give it a driving permit, a driving license, and give it everything. People outside, they'll look at this bird inside this car, and they'll feel and think this bird is successful. But deep inside this ego, it feels an empty place, because its purpose was never designed to live in that Range Rover Sport. It has not derived the satisfaction of its purpose when it's in this Range Rover Sport. That ego only gets satisfied when it's doing its work, and that's flight. The time it's flying, it's successful. The time it's flying, it's working. Now most of us have lived this kind of life. You only know, after this money you have, after this good job you have, when you go back in your house, there's a point in your heart that feels dissatisfied. So I'm going to give you 3 steps also that can help you discover and tap into your purpose. Okay, so make sure you go watch the second video where we shall uncover these 3 steps that will help you to enable you walk into your real calling, your real purpose on this planet. Because your soul and your life, they're always calling your name, telling you there is more to life than what you're living and settling for at the moment. Thank you so very much. Be glad to see you in our 3rd video as we uncover and tap into this divine calling called purpose.